So LaMelo Ball injured his ankle. It's grade two. He's gonna miss 4 to 6 weeks, is what it's being reported. And well, it's first off, let me do this. He's going to miss the opener, but from my research, if it's a grade two, he's typically takes 4 to 6 weeks for a grade two sprained ankle. Anyone, if you had a bad ankle sprain, how long did it take you to recover? I personally believe so. I said this offseason that if the Charlotte Hornets 1/3 of the way through the season, if LaMelo Ball ended up getting hurt or if the team was just terrible, let's blow it up, keep get rid of, you know, keep LaMelo Ball obviously, but let's do what the Pelicans did, okay? Let's take advantage of the injury of, how they took advantage of Zion Williamson to see who was good around Zion, and then they started making trades. And look, so what I think is interesting is if you look at this, I know they lucked out and they got themselves Brandon Ingram, but if they can find themselves a player like call up the Utah Jazz or one of these other teams that could be trading somebody, it could work out. And when you look at how this team was constructed for you know, the New Orleans Pelicans, a lot of these guys weren't on this team originally, okay? And they need to find their CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram because I love Terry Rozier, but I don't think he's that guy for them. So for me, I think it's time. Hey, let's figure out the young guys if if because LaMelo's gonna miss the first 9 to 15 games of the season. Okay, so let's see. In that time, let's find out, can Kelly Oubre replace Miles Bridges? Can Jalen McDaniels, PJ Washington, Nick Richards, James Bouknight, Kai Jones, JT Thor, okay? And Mark Williams I think Mark Williams, James Bouknight are safe, but let's see what JT Thor, Kai Jones, Nick Richards, PJ Washington, Jalen McDaniels can all do, okay? Then let's find deals for Gordon Hayward. Let's find teams that we can split that money across, okay? I know he's a negative asset, but let's call up the San Antonio Spurs and be like, would you send us Doug McDermott, Jakob Pertl, and Josh Richardson in a package for Gordon Hayward, and we'll send you like 2 picks. There you get yourself a sharpshooter, you get a 3-and-D guy, and you get a center to have a center rotation of, Mason Plumlee and Mark Williams and Jakob Pertl. And Pertl and Richardson's contracts, I believe, are both expiring. And then I think McDermott, you have 1 more year. Okay, let's find like deals like that, or let's call up the Pacers and say, hey, we'll send 2 first-round picks, Gordon Hayward for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. Okay, there's deals like that they could be like calling and looking for that could, work if a team is willing to move for that. And I think that's stuff. Or I know our man, you know, Duncan Robinson's been playing better, but maybe you could say, hey, we'll take Duncan Robinson and, Caleb Martin back, and you send us our man, and we send you Gordon Hayward and a pick. Maybe that works out. There's plenty of deals that we can look out there to see if we could split up his money. Like if Joe Harris sucks, maybe you take on Joe Harris's contract and somebody else's contract, or Evan Fournier. And I still don't think those are the best deals. I think maybe looking at Fred VanVleet and OG Anunoby, if they're on the move, like let's try to get their CJ McCollum or Chris Middleton, okay? And I think that's a huge thing. And that's why I think maybe calling up the Spurs and seeing if they have somebody, or maybe even calling up the Magic and seeing if Jonathan Isaac could be traded, and because his deal is only partially guaranteed, so they could waive him. So like call them up, be like, hey, we'll take Terrence Ross and Jonathan Isaac, okay? And I think that would be a great deal. Everybody wins right there. And I don't know. I feel like people are acting as if this is a team that, like we all know how good this team is. So let's like do what we know they can do. And I think it's going to be interesting. And yeah, so let me hear your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this and like, look, I just think let's blow it up and let's get as many assets. Let's find ourselves players. It's a grade 2 and let's build this team up. Okay, we need to rebuild it, and I think the best way to do it is by getting themselves as many, like, freeing up cap space, and let's also free up cap space, and let's go out there and find him some running mates, because I'm not gonna say they're necessarily gonna lose him, but it's gonna be hard to keep him.